Observing myself as a critical reader in English 201. Reader response theory became a new concept to me this spring semester. It truly provided me with a deeper connection to literature. One short story that I connected with was A Cask of Amontillado. An example of my reader response is with analyzing the symbols throughout the story and discovering new imagery, especially with the character Fortunato, because he has the root word fortunate in his name, but in the story he is a fool who dies at the end. I've read this story 3 times prior to this class, and using reader response theory, I now have discovered new symbols and can depict imagery in a better way. On the right, you can see my reader response theory. I couldn't take a screenshot of it, but that's what it would look like. Throughout this short story, I started to comprehend a tad bit more when it came to rereading it. I started to witness more underlying themes and how there is a variety of them, such as man versus self, man versus man, and man versus nature, were all witnessed throughout this story amongst all the characters. Rhetorical devices also help me discover these underlying themes. 2 examples of this are the use of metaphor when they said that they all carry ghosts, because throughout this story we saw the weight of everything, which was a symbolism for all the baggage they carry as well. This shows us the theme of man versus man, because they are all going through something together and alone at the same time. Also, as they were describing what they were physically carrying, this shows us the theme of man versus man, because all of the things they carried are to defeat an enemy. Digital tools. One digital tool that I connected with well this semester was using Blogger. It allowed me to connect with a novel more and open my mind a bit. It showed me how to look for certain aspects such as rhetorical devices, setting, characterization, and etc. Also, it was fun and easy to use because it was a different way to share with the class and Professor Holme what I enjoyed about my novel Redeployment by Phil Clay. I hope to continue with Blogger in the future when I do free reading. Connections and challenges. A critical challenge that I faced this semester dealt with being a critical reader. This is because I had never had to write out in depth what I observed about each story. When I came across this short story, Two Kinds by Amy Tan, it took me a while to discover the theme. I figured it out by using all the information I discovered throughout to come up with the theme at the end. A connection I made between critical thinking for this course and critical thinking for another course is that I never put effort into it. When first starting to do this in this year's course, it showed me how I was supposed to be doing it all along. I prefer taking the long way now and writing everything out because I understood the story more and more as I went along. Most memorable experience and aha moments. My most memorable experience, or also known as my aha moment, happened here in English 201. There was one day in class where we had to tell a story about us in full detail, and the person we had shared this with had to share our story as their own. This was the strangest but most memorable experience in this class. Having a total stranger share my adoption story hit me hard. I've always shared my adoption story, but I've never heard anyone else tell it. This gave me a new outlook to where I came from. Also, when I was sharing Erica's story, I connected with her a bit more because I saw everything from her point of view. She had told me about her father surprising her when he had come home from service. This showed me what it must feel like to be a child with a parent in the military, which is hard. This method had brought me closer with one of my classmates, and truly, I believe this is effective to make people understand others more. Thank you for listening.